Al Carbone, Commissioner Carbone of the Southern Connecticut Conference has joined us now. Thank you so much, Al, for coming.
I'm just happy to be here.
For
the second time.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, you are happy that the weather is starting to be a little more cooperative. Am I correct?
Yes, today was a good day. Teams played. I would say this: spring is always the most difficult season because it's a condensed season. End of the year, one bad week of weather like we did early with snow. The first days of you're worried about the end of the season. So we were lucky, and then this last couple of days with the rain. But I think we're going to be fine. The sun's going to come out, I think,
Tomorrow.
starting Sunday. No, Sunday. Okay. Saturday's not.
Okay,
but Sunday, Monday, and then our playoffs.
So you guys start tournament play on Monday, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, tomorrow we have lacrosse, boys and girls lacrosse first round.
Will that be played in the rain?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as there's not thunder.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Track. We've had a couple meets so far.
Divisional meets, right?
Divisional meets. So we'll be all set for Tuesday. We pushed it from Monday to Tuesday because of today. Boys volleyball is indoor. That's fine. But baseball and softball is pretty much the only two sports that we haven't determined our pairings because teams will be playing Monday until Monday. And here's the thing about spring sports. Everyone loves. It's end of the year. We deal with the weather, but we also deal with a lot of school events. So we're talking about graduations, proms, after proms.
Yeah.
2-day after proms, all the issues that
you had quite a
right.
childhood.
So you're jamming a lot of things in there, and you're dealing with a lot of obstacles.
Now, the spring is always the toughest because in the wintertime when you get bad weather, the games are indoors, and in the springtime when there's bad weather, most of the sports are outdoors. I want to ask you about something real quickly because you have some very competitive, obviously the SCC has very competitive teams, but when you have something that happened like we had the other day with Hand beating Fairfield Prep in boys lacrosse and giving Prep, I think it was his first loss, so it's 2015 in the championship game against Xavier. That game too was played in the rain. That's good, right?
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing. Our lacrosse has gotten so much better. We had 3 teams back in 1995. Now you have, I think it's 17 or 18 now. That's good. And Prep's been great. Hands made the state championship the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good program. Xavier, Guilford have been good. Cheshire has been always a good program. So the more programs and competitiveness, and I think even from the Fairfield Prep, their perspective was, hey, they outplayed us. Let's go, and we'll get another shot hopefully next week in a championship game because they're the Hand and Prep will be the top 2 seeds.
And then when you look at some of your other sports that traditionally you are strong in, and have great depth, I think again, baseball and softball, depth from top to bottom. You can't take everybody in the tournament. But although maybe someday you'll expand it, I don't know. But you can't take everybody. But there are quality teams that aren't going to even play in the conference tournament.
Right, and I always look at, like baseball, for example. You had Foreign, who went 7-13 playing in tough regular season, wins a state championship, beats North Haven, another SCC team. But that's our baseball team. Teams have been historically very good, and the conference has been very tough. And you're seeing that with like Fairfield Prep goes 16-0 in its counting games in the league, will be our number 1 seed in the tournament, and they beat Hamden today 1-0. They haven't had they have had a lot of good games. That's also the competition, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, Fairfield Prep has been fun to watch, but that Hamden team is kind of gone under the radar.
I think 13 games they've won.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they'll be in the tournament. They won a division title, so they'll be definitely in the 8 teams.
Yeah.
But again, I always say that there's been teams that haven't made our SEC tournament that have won state championships. Shan being one, probably about 6-7 years ago, and that's not a discredit to not making the tournament when you can go in there. And I say that's probably the hardest thing in all of the spring sports is the Tuesday, Wednesday after Memorial Day, first and second rounds for baseball and softball. Softball is a little different because if you have a good pitcher, there.
She can go again.
But you can go back to back. But in baseball, you could be a 32 seed like Foreign was, and if you're on your game, you're going to be the number 1 seed in that first game. So you got to be watch out. So teams know that the league tournament prepares them for that one and done kind of mentality.
So let me ask you this. I'm sorry, Mark, but just based on that, listen, everyone wants to win a conference tournament, but a state title is a pretty big deal. For some of these teams that get to rest up their pitchers for those that week that the other teams are playing in the conference tournament. You're nodding like you've heard this before.
Yeah. We constantly have productive discussions with our coaches about the value of a league tournament and winning it. But yes, everyone wants the rest, but you still have to play. And you look at it tonight. Yankees haven't played since Tuesday, and they're down 3-0 because they haven't. Baseball's an everyday game.
Right.
Yes, there are pitching rules and the pitch count rules, but we know that the teams like in Amity has won our championship the last 5 years because they've had 3 pitchers and they've quarterfinals, semifinals, championship. You go and you get it. If you're going to win, if you're going to compete for a state championship, you're going to have to win one game at a time and find a way.
And they're going to win SCC titles next week as well. A lot of them. Al Carbone, thanks. I wish we had more time. Thank you. Best of luck in the postseason.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.